Good afternoon, how do I mess this up? Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever the case may be. This is Cross Examinations. I am your host, Mike S. Miller. Just your friendly neighborhood comic book artist. Been drawing professionally for 27 years in the comic book industry, and for a good portion of that, probably, what's this, 95, I probably accepted the Lord, somewhere around there, 95, 96, and have been studying about the Bible and the Bible itself uh, for all that time. So here I am now on YouTube talking about such things. Today's topic, San Jose versus Chick-fil-A on Cross Examinations Live. The articles I run into. The things that happen in this world that just seem so petty and just like belong on Twitter, but they're out there in the real world being undertaken by government officials. So petty. Hello, Pranesti. What's up, Scotty Richards Studio, Manga Man X Gal, Andre, Avon, General Devereaux Goldschlager, and Cubs to Dawn. Thank you for being here. Peace and love. And please do hit that like as you come in. Hit that share button too. Let's get some more people in here. Derek F. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Let me crack open. At some point in this stream, when we have enough people, I slept on my neck. Like, I came back after dropping my daughter off from school and just laid on my bed, listening to some worship music. Lovely, lovely time. Fell asleep with one too many pillows, and now I have this shooting pain from my neck to my shoulder blade. Oh, there it is. That's the pain. Right there, right there, right there, right when I go like that. And so rather than taking time out of my day to go see Oli and have him correct my neck, I'm going to ask all you guys to pray for healing. What do you think about Trump saying he'll let all the illegals in sanctuaries? I think that's a troll. Sounds like something Trump would say, though. But per usual, I'm driving in front of one now. Hello, Tim. Welcome, one and all. Again, share this out. Oh, actually, me, the hypocrite, has not yet shared it out. I could do this beforehand. I'm just going to tweet it. I'm not even going to add to it. Just tweeting it out now. So please do that. Twitter, Facebook, whatever it is. And let's go into yesterday's program and see. We had one comment from our friend Nathan Rosario from the episode Scientism Isn't Scientific, Cross-Examinations episode 120. These just keep moving along. Unbelievable. All right. Nathan says, I grew up with a Baptist preacher for a father, so I'm going to some kind of church service every Sunday. Oh, so going to some kind of church service every Sunday was never in question. When I joined the Army, though, I strayed and became pretty backslidden. There just weren't many incentives to go to the chapel on Sunday mornings in basic training when the guys who didn't go to church got to sleep in. Oh. Also, the services were mixed denominations with very generic sermons. Our chaplain was actually a Catholic priest who did the Catholic service at 6, and then the same Catholic priest taught the Protestant service at 6:30. So most of the sermons just ended up being pep talks and a lesson on following orders. As a result, I very quickly fell out of the habit of going to church every Sunday and didn't really start attending regularly again until I got out of the military for good in 2002. That's sad. That is sad. So nobody in your unit or barracks or whatever um, would hold their own like Bible study. And I mean, having a Bible group, if you're a follower and you're not getting fed, or you're not having the whole, you know, community of believers thing, you start one yourself, right? You start one yourself. On the topic of scientism, one thing that is not scientific is an argument from authority. Yeah, that's a logical fallacy. This is when a prominent person with a prestigious education and or a lot of letters after the name makes a statement that seems logical within the context of a specific worldview, and people assume it is true solely because of who is making the statement. Yeah, like I said, that's how a lot of kids get indoctrinated out of a faith, in any faith, actually, in Bible in college. But it's a logical fallacy because no matter how much education or experience a person has, they are still human and can make mistakes or misinterpret evidence. So just because Carl Sagan makes up something like genetic memory, and it kind of makes sense if you are the type of person to believe every word that Carl Sagan utters, that doesn't make it valid scientific theory, and it definitely doesn't make it a scientific fact. I'm going to give you a thumbs up and a heart for that one, Nathan Rosario, because you are correct, sir. You are correct. I'm getting more comments on my Star Wars than I did from yesterday's show. All right, let's pop out the chat. Spend a little time in fellowship here. Before we get to the topic of the day, San Jose versus Chick-fil-A. And the reason this popped out is because I grew up in San Jose, so it's kind of still has my hometown feel. Not bad. Not bad. All right, there are 33 people watching now. That is a good number. If you guys could all reach out with the force, reach out in the spirit, and ask God to heal my neck of this shooting pain when I turn it in just the wrong space, I would appreciate it if you would all pray that together. I'll pray for myself, but you guys can pray with me. Lord God, I thank you for your creation. I thank you for your design of the human body. I thank you that you can, as creator, fix all things, even when we do silly things like sleep on too many pillows. And I thank you for your healing hands. And thank you for healing me. I ask in your name, with the aid and prayers of all of these fellow believers, that you would take this pain away from me so that I can get on with my day. In Jesus' name, amen. Let's hope that happens. Let's thank God. Continue to thank Him. Always, always. All right, let's see. I got to find a Chick-fil-A. I live in Massachusetts. MA, that's Massachusetts, right? Hello and good day. Oh, you're driving in front of a Chick-fil-A? That's what you were talking about. Hi, folks, getting back from college. Howdy, Zebulon Pike. Someone else wants a Chick-fil-A destroyed. Who now? San Jose. Haven't gone to church in a while myself, says Withheld Rather Not Say. Well, find a good church, man. If not, then find a group of believers and start your own. There's nothing wrong with starting your own fellowship. Just doesn't even have to be Sundays if you don't want. Just say, hey, Bob, Joe, Travis, you guys want to go grab Chick-fil-A once a week and talk about the Bible? Why not? I grew up in San Jose, Zebulon Pike says, and can tell you from experience that it's full of degenerate social terror hell-bent on minding their own business. The Sharks are cool, though. I saw the Sharks one time their first season at that stadium. I'm sure it's still Shark Stadium down there off Alameda. I grew up in Almaden Valley. Zebulon, where are you from? Which part did you grow up in? Vancouver, Canada. Same up here. Yep, that's right. Canada, Mike. Why are there so many Canadians coming to my channel? You Canadians and your Canadian-nuckery. Canuckery? Is that a word? Canuckery? Reaching YOLO. Pray for mine too. Pray for mine though. Amen, amen. Too many pillows, they'll get you every two. I know, right? It's like it's comfortable, but then somehow or another you're doing something wrong and you're misaligning the way your neck should be while you're sleeping. And then you wake up and you're like, yeah, yeah. Chick-fil-A sauce is everything. I used to make stir fry with it. No joke. With Chick-fil-A? Okay. Bible and Chick-fil-A sounds really good. America. Actually, what I wouldn't mind doing is doing a Bible study. There's a great barbecue place here in Lemon Grove. Why am I drawing a blank on the name? This guy used to be my neighbor. He used to live like practically right across the street, and he started a awesome barbecue place in Lemon Grove. That'd be a great place to just sit down and have some once a week Bible study and fill up on some delicious barbecue beef brisket. Oh, this guy makes better brisket than they make in Texas. I tell you what, it's called Texas Barbecue. I mean, that's not the name of the place, but it's something. Why am I drawing a blank on the name? Hey, what's the name of the barbecue place? For what? The barbecue place the guy used to live across the street? The one in Lemon Grove? Nuts. Energy drink and 4 ibuprofen. I took 2 ibuprofen, and I'm drinking La Colombe coffee, vanilla draft latte. I don't know if that's going to help. I grew up between Almaden and Willow Glen near Jacob and Meridian. No way. You went to Pioneer? What year? I graduated from Pioneer. 1989. You might be a little younger. That's crazy, dude. You went to my high school. Why are we talking about barbecue on cross-examinations? Is there ever a place to not talk about barbecue, Church Bell? Really? Really? Are you a vegan? Are you one of those? Samurai Cyberfrog is from Palo Alto. Right on. PA. You're not from EPA, yo. Right? Danger. Danger. Chick-fil-A, your class of 2003. Oh my gosh. I'd ask, but I'm sure all of the staff are gone that I was there. Please don't call me a vegan, Mike. That's unkind. Give me that barbecue. Hey, give me some of that barbecue. That's rad, dude. That's rad. Went to my high school. I got lots of pictures. Lots of pictures. Let's see. Chick-fil-A takes the estrogen out of chicken so girls don't go through PMS at 12 and boys don't get B cups and enough estrogen for a sex change up in each Kentucky Fried bucket of chicken. The thing about Chick-fil-A is I find their white, it's all white meat, which I like dark meat. So. Oh, you're from proper Shallow Alto. Right on, right on. Yeah, I don't know if things have changed, but when I was growing up, when I was of an age to travel around, East Palo Alto was not a place you wanted to visit. That's kind of GMO I can get behind. We just had Kentucky Fried Chicken the other day. I need more prayers. I need more prayers. Maybe I didn't need to go to Oli. Maybe that's a sign God wants me to go hang out with Oli. Have you seen Canada? If anyone needs some spiritual bolstering, it's them. Pray Trudeau away. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I love when I worked at a high-end mall. A bunch of my gay friends took pictures of themselves eating Chick-fil-A with a thumbs up because they didn't give a F. Blackwell Senpai, that's why I come here, What's why you come here? Why you come here? Hey there, Mike. waffle fries. Canada is just fine, Miller. Yeah, you keep saying that. You just go on and keep saying that, Michael Bernasty. Sketch has never had Chick-fil-A. They don't exist in Puerto Rico. Sketch, did you get your books? Your book? Join me in common accord for an opening an estrogenless chicken in Puerto Rico. It's a fight we've been fighting since the 80s. How would Batman successfully end the life of Wolvie? How would Batman successfully end the life of Wolvie? Batman wouldn't kill. That's the problem. Batman would have to find a way to incapacitate Wolverine because he wouldn't kill him. Yes, got with my first brigade dog tag. So happy. Right on, bro. Why doesn't YouTube ever send me freaking notifications? Because YouTube is a terrible, terrible platform. Sorry, I am late, guys. Cut off head. You can't cut off his head because he's got adamantium laced neck bones in his neck. Vertebrae, as they are called. This is not a topic for cross-examinations. If we have to, I will just jump right into the topic du jour. That's more like 15 minutes early from that. But shoot. Children, can we focus here? Come along, children. Get back in line. Everybody back in line. You in the back, stop talking. Sketch, stop talking. Come on, back in line. Let's focus. We're here for a reason. Liam says since pressure points work on Wolverine, he could disable them the same way other martial artists and Spock have in the past. Yes, sir. Up here in Canada, hate speech is a thing. If a pastor preaches against a thing like gay marriage, he can get arrested. I know, right? Yeah, it seems like the good old United States of America is the only place left in the world where you have actual free speech and you can say anything you want. You can be against gay marriage, you can be against abortion, you can be against transsexuals going into the bathroom with your 8-year-old daughter, and nobody can arrest you for it. Nobody can fine you for it. Individual platforms can shut you up. Individual public or privately owned platforms, but that's their right. It's a free market. It's the business. If a business doesn't want to have people on their platform that voted for, which this is the funny thing. So in America, every single time gay marriage went up for a vote, the public, even in the farthest left-leaning states, including California, voted against gay marriage. But the judges shot everyone down, which is strange. I actually agree on a legal basis that they had a right to do that, because if marriage is under the control of government, then the government doesn't have the right to say who can and cannot get married. But I mean, it's the same argument you can make with polytheists, or not polytheists, polygamists. But that's the thing. I don't believe marriage should be under the purview of the government. Right? Yeah, there you go, David Peterson. I take the Shapiro position, get the government out of marriage. That has been my position since before I don't want to say before I even heard of Ben Shapiro, but certainly before I started listening to Ben Shapiro. Yeah, the government should have no role in marriage. If there has to be a legally binding contract, then make them all, if there has to be a legally binding contract under the purview of the government, then they should all simply be, can you go get Jojo? Go get Jojo. Go. They should all be civil union contracts. But marriage in and of itself does not belong under the purview of the government. I don't care if it's about taxes sketched. Again, that's another thing that it can be done through simple contract, right? Just make it a legal contract, but don't call it marriage. Marriage is a religious institution, right? Marriage is a religious institution, and it is, if it is indeed up to the culture to decide what marriage means, the culture voted, even in California, that marriage is one man and one woman. So that's not even the Bible. The Bible doesn't say one man, one woman. The Bible, there's polygamy all over the Bible. But our culture, our people, the residents and citizens of the United States of America, in every state this went to vote, agreed marriage is one man and one woman. So if you intend on making the argument that culture should define marriage, the culture did define marriage, and then the judges decided that wasn't a good definition. So we were under the tyranny of the judiciary. Therefore, yeah. Well, not even therefore. It is a very libertarian position that marriage does not belong under the purview of the government to begin with. So he drowned in Days of Future Past. That's right. That's right. I come here for the fellowship, says Black Will Senpai. Sketch says, yes, you give marriage tax breaks and they control the marriage. Just end forced tax and switch to voluntary taxes. Lotto, it seems Orwellian, but it's not as Orwellian as forced taxes. I know. Good luck getting out of that. Liam says, I agree, but here is the question. If it wasn't handled by the government, do you think most people would feel compelled to do it? Who feels compelled to get married now outside of the religious? Very few people actually sit there and go, you know what? We should get married so we can get some great tax breaks. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. That's a ridiculous argument. I still hear goofy libs complain about Chick-fil-A hating gays, says Seamus McCallahan. I don't eat there, but that's because all of the ones I drive past have drive-through lines out into the road. That's because it's a popular place. It is good for a white meat chicken place. I like dark meat. Call me chicken racist. No, I'm just kidding. Sketch, right. Legal contract. You can't force a church to bake your cake. Right. Michael Pernesti, if anyone wants the potential misery of marriage, they should be allowed to do so. All must suffer equally. Well, they can do that with again, under the law, and make it a legally binding contract that is not easy to break. Make them all civil unions. I don't care if I have to have a civil union with my wife, but my wife is my wife because I married her under God, not under the government. Do you guys know what Chick-fil-A sauce is, right? No. Would Batman kill for Chick-fil-A? No, he would not. Boy, this looks really kind of blurry on YouTube, doesn't it? Eben says, guess what I just learned? Common law marriage isn't a thing. It's certainly not in California. I know it is in other states. I think it is in other states. But yeah, my friend James, who passed away, not James Hudnall, the James Rochelle that passed away a few months ago. His girl, his gal, his significant other, with whom they've been together like almost, not as long as I've known James, but for so freaking long enough that her grown kids, you know, that's like their dad. They never got legally married, and there's no common law in America, in California. So yeah, she doesn't have any spousal rights. All of his Social Security that he worked for 40, well, let's see, he probably entered in 28, 3 decades. All of his Social Security. Because he didn't even adopt the kids. So all the money he paid into Social Security goes right back into the Ponzi scheme called Social Security, because there's no common law here in California. It's so stupid. Yoda Yo says Chick-fil-A does not hate gays. I mean, have you seen the staff? I haven't been to Chick-fil-A in a while. The closest one here is, I think, is down in Chula Vista, which is like 15-20 minute drive. So David, it's a religious thing, and religious people such as myself would continue to do it. That being said, any single ladies out there, help me put my money where my mouth is. All the single ladies, all the single ladies. Not a lot of single ladies on my channel, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately for me, just unfortunately for you. Most of my audience is male, man. Not mailman, but male. Man. Michael Pernesti, I just did my Canadian taxes, and there's a box to donate your refund to the government. I wonder how common that is. I bet you it's slim to none. Dark Admiral March Hare had Chick-fil-A today, but I prefer dark meat, drumsticks primarily. I like thighs. Thighs is my thing. I love the thighs. Victor the Ripper, most gays, even after getting married, go to degenerate orgy parties. I'm not sure where you're getting your stats, but if I can't really argue one way or the other about that being true. First, you tell God you're committed, then the state for very different reasons. Yeah. Liam says, I actually strongly agree with the civil union sentiment. That is how we did it in Australia about a decade ago, which is why I got so outraged when they came over here from the US and called us bigots. They white knighted. They white knighted. Common law marriages in North Carolina. See, I wouldn't doubt that. In the South, it seems like it would be a pretty standard thing. There are other legal reasons for civil unions related to medical and inheritance issues. Yeah, there should be. Government got it. I know. So, sausage fest up in here. Yeah, sorry. We do get gals in here once in a while. If there's any gals in the audience of the 58, please shout it out. You go, girl. Withheld says, so Christianity is bigoted because God is offended by homosexuality? The faith that teaches to love thy neighbor, and where God literally died to save all of mankind, but Islam isn't. They don't want to touch that. They don't want to touch that. Because they know Islam, the fundamentalist Islamists will kill them. Fatwa! What? Are you saying something bad about Islam? I fatwa you. Kyung likes more than thighs. Mike is a thigh man. Whether chicken or ladies, I'm a breast man myself. Michael says, a buddy I once split a White Castle Crave case after driving almost 200 miles to get it. I've literally walked past Newcastle or White Castle and not gone inside because Gary Shipman told me it was horrible food. It's something like 7 states have no. Come on, okay. This is cross-examinations. Play chat Tinder on any other topic. LOL. It's McGee female. I think they are. It's McGee. Yeah, McGee's female. I think she's married though. So sorry. Pray to God for a date. Call me paranoid, but what if the globalists are planning on destroying the West with liberalism and then using Islam to control what is left afterwards. The globalists could not control Islam. Sorry. EVS is on his way to Star Wars Celebration. Is he? Good. Good. I was thinking about that today. I'm like, dude, you have a show where daily you intro it with being a great big Star Wars fan. Get your great big Star Wars butt to Star Wars Celebration. I was thinking that, but I didn't say it. I should have said that. I guess I wasn't thinking it last night. I just had a ghost. Yeah, I hope he has a good, safe time as well. We are at the 30-minute mark, which means it's time to discuss. Although we've kind of been discussing it in one way. San Jose. San Jose versus Chick-fil-A. What's up, yo?
Hi.
Hi. Aw.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Here we go. Share. All right. Aw.
I see you.
I see you.
Yeah.
It's a JoJo ghost.
Oh,
Hold on a second. I gotta cut a line for my son.
me?
Yeah, you. I was talking to the people on the chat.
People? What is that?
People? What's what? All right then. Once again, from ChristianHeadlines.com, San Jose City Council unanimously votes to fly LGBT flags outside of new Chick-fil-A location. The city of San Jose, California, my hometown, will fly rainbow flags near a new Chick-fil-A that is slated to open at the city's airport. The city council voted 11-0 this week to display a rainbow flag and a transgender rights pink, blue, and white flag near the San Jose International Airport. I made the suggestion you put the flags next to the restaurant, and council members liked that idea, but also said that maybe put flags elsewhere too, like outside. Ken Yeager, the first openly gay elected official in Santa Clara County, told NBC News. Chick-fil-A has not commented on the council's decision. In 2018, the city council voted to approve a Chick-fil-A location at the airport's food court. Chick-fil-A has recently made headlines after the restaurant was barred from opening a new location in the San Antonio, Texas airport. How weird. The San Antonio City Council voted in March to stop Chick-fil-A from opening a restaurant in the airport because of its LGBTQ donations and history. So a private company isn't allowed to donate funds to any cause that disagrees with what? With what exactly? This is ridiculous. And I know I never covered that particular story, but according to report from Think Progress, oh good, Chick-fil-A tax documents show the Chick-fil-A Foundation has donated to groups that have openly stood against LGBTQ movements. Those groups include the Fellowship of Christian Athletes and the Paul Anderson Youth Home. So they donated to athletics and essentially foster kids. And for that, the San Antonio City Council want to stop them from being able to run the business. Wow. Unbelievable. With this decision, the City Council reaffirmed the work our city has done to become a champion of equality inclusion. As long as we don't include your Christian donations to youth and athletes, Councilman Robert C. Trevino told in the news outlet in a statement of the news outlet. San Antonio is a city full of compassion, and we don't have room in our public facilities for a business with a legacy of anti-LGBTQ behavior. Someone in the chat is asking me if they seem like petulant children. Doesn't it all just seem like stuff that belongs as petty squabbles on Twitter? But instead, they're trying to shut down the ability of people to create jobs and make a living. It's disgusting. San Jose City, super petty, confirmed. Hikaru, yes. LGBT sounds like a religion these days. Where is the separation of church and state? Yeah, where is your right to have a different opinion from I don't get it. I don't get it. The rainbows was God's long before the LGBT community. Absolutely. That's the proper voice. Intersectionality equals Jim Crow. Sketch therapy says theocratic feudalism and technocratic feudalism are feudalism. They are not that different. Hikaru says they can fly him. The poltards are trolling to get the rainbow flag to equal white nationalism. They've started to convince morons that the thumbs up gesture is as well. I don't understand that at all. Xerax, or Aaron, with an X and an X in the front and back, says, can that not be viewed as harassment? Also, San Jose appears to not care about LGBT people if this is what they want to do. It's just, why would you fly a gay flag at a public building? You should fly the American flag and the state flag. You shouldn't fly the Christian flag. You shouldn't fly the Union Jack. You shouldn't fly. I guess you could fly the POW MIA flag. That's fine. But you don't fly the gay flag. It's a public building. The public building should not be endorsing particular ideological perspectives, right? It should just be the government building representing all the people. Guess what? The gay flag does not represent all the people. It represents 2 to 3% of the people. It's so frustrating. Do these people strike you as petulant children? Exactly. Exactly. Immature, petulant, spoiled children. Spoiled children. Raised by spoiled children. Raising little spoiled children of their own. That's what I wrote in Lone Star. It's exactly what it is, right? Nail on head. David says you can do whatever you want in America, unless you're a Christian. Then we'll tell you what you can do. Fair point. Aaron says, I got a bit into it with a non-trans activist who wanted to help people accept trans people. I told him his efforts were going against his wishes and noted that he couldn't even see that. Yeah, these people are blind to their own biases. They are, again, they're white knighting. I mean, we've already gotten proof from Yale that these leftist, dogmatic leftist people are by and large racist, thinking that minorities are stupid. And apparently they think that gay people are stupid too. I think they think everyone who isn't them Maybe they just believe that they believe in their white superiority so much that they think that anyone who is not straight and white is lesser than them and cannot fight their own battles. Right? I'm with you. I stand with you. I'll fight for you. Liam says Chick-fil-A should open some stores in Australia. They love chicken. Yeah, but you'd make it with kangaroo. I'll take some deep fried roe, please. And eat chicken. SJW is Christianity is homophobia. Me, but Islam isn't. Let's see. Liam again. WK says these are fascists. I think you're correct. There is a soft fascism growing in America day by day, and I'm just thankful that Donald Trump stood up and at least put the brakes on it a little bit. A little bit. Liam says, I can't understand the weight of this. I can't understand the weight of this. But I sincerely believe so many of the problems we have is because we don't have mature, grown adults running the world. That's right. That's pretty accurate. They stopped caring about solving real problems long ago, says Mark Fennell. You're absolutely correct. It's not about solving problems. It's about coalescing power under their ideological bent so that they can, at some point, implement the same ends as communism, which is their fantasy world of an egalitarian utopia. Never going to happen. They don't like dealing with reality. Therefore, they ignore reality. And then they, in a drive for a dream world. I think the reason so few Christians and truly religious people, religious Jews, not SJW Jews, don't fall for this stuff is because we understand the difference between the real world and the promise of an eternal heaven, right? An eternal utopia, if you want to call it a utopia. We understand that there will always be poor among us, and it is our job to take care of the poor, right? But we don't have this fantasy of a Star Trek future where every home comes with a replicator and everyone gets to do whatever they want. Work, not work, whatever you want to do. Just go to school for the rest of your life. Which is funny. This is what I wanted to do when I was in junior college because I was having so much fun in junior college. I was like, I'd love to just be in junior college or be in college for the rest of my life. I just, learn stuff I want to learn and whatever. And it's fun. I love learning stuff. I'd sit here learning stuff while I'm working, but you got to have that working part, right? Otherwise, you're just a leech on society, which a lot of those people don't mind. Anyways, I'm rambling. Maybe it's the coffee. I don't know. Let me put that down. If I were in Cali, I'd fly another state's flag, but that's me. I'm so tired of LGBT issues being the most important thing in all aspects of the media. There's more interesting things to talk about than people's supposedly private sex lives. Q, thank you. That is, I know. It's just this nonstop. I honestly think they're just doing it to continue to drive a wedge between people. They want everybody categorized, right? I mean, do what you want. If you're an adult, do what you want. I mean, I don't have to agree or disagree with your lifestyle choices. And trust me, I disagree with a lot of people's lifestyle choices, LGBTQ or otherwise, but it's not my job to sit there and convince them that they should be living a different way. My priority is to spread the gospel, right? If they come to a point where they accept the gospel and believe in Jesus and believe in the Bible, at that point, iron sharpens iron. At that point, we start correcting each other. We start trying to help each other become more like Christ, follow the more righteous path. But all you people out there who are unbelievers, just living your own lives, that's your life, and it is not my job, nor do I think it's the government's job or anybody else's job to kick down your door and make sure you're living the way we want you to live. Unfortunately, the left seems to want to do that to Christians, and they don't. Not just that, but 1984 time, man, they don't want us committing those thought crimes. Well, you believe something that I disagree with, therefore you're evil and should have your ability to make a living taken away from you. You should be destitute. I mean, we saw this with Scott Kurtz and his friend of 10 years, Doug TenNapel, when he outright said it, that he couldn't argue against Doug losing work because of his beliefs. Because Doug had beliefs that Scott, Ultimate SJW, disagreed with. He couldn't say that Doug had a right to make a living. That's how twisted these guys are. That's how twisted they are. It is absolute 1984 thought crime stuff. They use 1984 as a how-to manual to become Big Brother, rather than as a warning of what authoritarianism ends up as. Is blah. Why you stop mid-sentence and say, I don't know, when it sounds like you're on such a good line? You self-censoring yourself often find my... I lost it. Where'd it go? I often find myself asking, where was he going with that? I don't even know. I don't know. Sometimes my thoughts just run out of gas. I'm not Ben Shapiro, man. I don't have like litanies of paragraphs stored up in the back of my head, and I'm just talking as fast as I can so I can get them all out of my head before I can run out. Sometimes my thought process just, the kickstand goes up and the bike stops moving. LGBTs, even LGBTs are tired of it and are bailing out. Tons of walkaway testimonials from the LGBTs. Speaking of LGBTs, you guys remember JJ? JJ is going to be launching his own crowdfunding book pretty soon here. And I'm like, dude, you got to start getting on my show regularly. So some point here in the near future, I'm going to be bringing JJ on more regularly and then helping him to build up his YouTube channel, because that guy is made for YouTube. He is so bloody outgoing and entertaining. He swears way too much for this channel, but he does tone it down when he comes on. But I am going to be pushing him because he's a good friend. Speaking of LGBTs, yeah. So you guys know who he is, JJ Kirby. I want to try emu. I've had ostrich. Kangaroo. Yeah, I'd totally eat kangaroo. I'd eat emu. I don't think I've had ostrich. Maybe ostrich jerky or something. Kangaroo meats is actually one of the healthiest meats in the world, but I don't like it much. Tangy taste. So gamey. It's a big rodent, isn't it? Tim Pool talked about transgender women demanding guys date them. Suddenly now the left believes in conversion therapy after all. Yeah, they want to convert you into having same sex, homosex. Homosex? Would you just call it homosex? Same sex. I don't even want to go in this. Hey, SJWs, Hitler already tried to do what you're doing. Look where it got him. Yeah, but see, they try to learn from Hitler's mistakes and just do it a little better. Okay. Let's see, where are we on? We got 10 minutes left. Dark Admiral has a thought here. Oh, he's responding to emails. That's good. Read The Naked Communist. This was predicted in the 50s. That's one I have not read, actually. Maybe I'll check that one out next. I have a piece of paper around here. Guys, keep praying for my neck, please. There's so much stuff I want to listen to, and just not enough time in the day. I tend to listen to audiobooks at like 1.5 speed because I don't care who's reading it. Unless it's Ben Shapiro, it sounds too slow for me. Yeah, I reread 1984 a couple years ago, and then I just watched the movie again like a couple weeks ago. I want to go through the Gulag Archipelago again because I feel like there's so much info in there that I didn't absorb it all the first time. And I want to get through some more of the Star Wars books because I've only gone through about 9 of them, and there's just so much. Some of them are so interesting. Some of them start off kind of meh, but yeah, maybe they are changing. Isn't Chris Evans starting to talk to people outside of his bubble? Is he? That would be nice. It is warming up here. So I reread Animal Farm. Should I read 1984? Absolutely. Yeah. I read Animal Farm again like 3 years ago. 3 years ago. 2 legs bad. The poor is defined as the bottom 20%. They can't vanish ever. Standards will just raise. Right. That should it be? Should it be? Should we define the poor as the bottom 20% when our poor in this country are richer than 80% of the people on planet Earth? There is no legitimate poverty. There's no global poverty. There's no historical poverty in the United States of America, unless you actually live on the street. And then, even then, you're still better off. You guys have heard me say this 100 times. You're still better off living on the street in the United States of America than you are living in West Africa, Sierra Leone, large parts of Kenya, right? You're better being a bum in the United States of America than you are in a lot of the countries around this world. Sad but true. Sad but true. I just wanted to thank you and the chat for the prayers for my family members. It's working. God is listening. Awesome, March Hare. Good to hear. Now continue to pray for my shoulder and my neck, please, so I don't have to take time out of my day to go see Oli. Not that I don't love Oli, but I got things to do. I do actually want to draw. I do want to draw Darth Bane today. No stripping mic. Well, I had to take that off because it's getting warm in here. Rainbow, I've read 1984 a couple of times now. Now, if I want to read it again, I just have to turn on CNN. I know. It's like they try to rewrite history, right? They're constantly trying to rewrite history. Like the whole thought crimes thing. It's like they're trying to end people's ability to live, which is essentially the entirety of the whole thought crimes bit, right? Now, granted, they're not torturing people in order to align themselves with their SJW mentality, but I guarantee you they'd be willing to, at least some of them. At least some of them. Yeah, it's creepy. All right. What else we got here? We live in a prelude world to a world where 1984 Brave New World combined. Oh, Brave New World. Yeah, I just went a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. I went through all of the Brave New World, Fahrenheit 451, uh, uh, Animal Farm, 1984. Well, I just went through all of those kind of, what do you call those? Not apocalyptic. Can't remember what they're called. Dystopian future. All the dystopian future, classic dystopian future books. And I was like, geez Louise, what are we doing? Why are we following these as manuals? Is the B in LGBT Borg? It, quite honestly, it could be. Yeah, dystopian. Ex-gal. See, look, ex-gal's a gal, unless she's an ex-gal. It feels like assimilate or die, like the Borg in dealing with LGBT. Yeah, assimilate or we will remove your ability to make a living. So they either want you so broke that you're on welfare. Clockwork Antifa. um, yeah, I'm sure. See, that's the thing. That is the road. That is the road to Gulag, right? That's what the road to serfdom, right? The road to serfdom, the Friedrich Hayek book. It kind of plays out that same thing. It's, but I call it the road to Gulag, because you would have neighbors ratting on neighbors for the most innocuous things that might have somehow seemed like you were against the state, right? It could be something as simple as like throwing a newspaper away that had that you had written over Stalin's face on it. This is a literal account. So this guy liked to practice his handwriting, but because the communists had crashed the economy so badly that people couldn't afford paper. So the only paper they had was newspapers, because the newspapers were propaganda that they would hand out, right? So the only paper you could have. And so he wanted to practice his handwriting, and so he practiced on a part that didn't have a writing on it, which was Stalin's picture. He throws this away. His neighbor looks through his trash, probably because he's hungry, because they were all starving, because communism sucks, sees that he had written over Stalin's face, reports him, and the guy ends up going to Gulag for 10 years, which is a life sentence, because every time you came up for parole, they'd send you to for another 10 years. A tenner, and another tenner, and another tenner, until you're in the grave. That's where it's going, right? Thought crime. Yeah, thought crime. I'm against the Marvel. To the Gulag. But that's the thing. That mentality. That's why I bring up the Scott Kurtz example, because Scott and Doug are friends. They have been friends for over a decade. And when confronted, Scott couldn't defend his friend's right to make a living because he disagreed with his politics. That mentality, that very mentality, is the sort of mentality that ends up reporting your friends, your neighbors, your family to the thought police and sending them to Gulag to die. And they don't see it. They don't understand the dark, dark road that is turning them down. It's scary. It's scary to think that people your friends and your family. It's just like that guy I was telling you, Claiborne Moore, I was having dinner with. And I told him I was a birther, and he stands up from the table, like with a look in his face as if I had just gutted a puppy in front of him. And he said, I disowned my sister because she's a birther. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? You disagree on something as unimportant ultimately as that, and you disown your own sister. What kind of a disease has gotten into these people's heads? It's the same thing with the blue hair on Twitter, right? She's so diseased that she focuses all of her energy trying to destroy people on Twitter for disagreeing with her, for trying to get people kicked out of conventions, for trying to get people fired from their jobs so they can't make a living to feed their families because she disagrees with them. It is the insanity of fanaticism. Thank you, Ray Thulu. That's what it is. It is absolute insane fanaticism based on ideological narcissism. John Wood, thank you for the word narcissism. Exactly. I don't know how to reach those people. They are sociopathic. Thank you, John Wood. Birthers question the legal birth status of Obama. I am a birther. I am a birther. And I am a birther because I know for a fact that Barack Obama lied when he went on Oprah Winfrey and said that he required, that's a lovely worm you have there. Inchworm, inchworm. He went on Oprah Winfrey and said that, well, the government of Hawaii doesn't usually do this, so I had to get special dispensation to get my long-form birth certificate. Now, anyone, including Edwin's wife, or anyone else who lives or was born in Hawaii, as I was, in the very hospital he claims to have been born, knows that when you ask the government of Hawaii for your birth certificate, and you pay the $10 or $14, whatever it costs to get it, they send you your long form birth certificate. So I knew that for an absolute fact that he was lying with absolute certainty, and so does everyone who's a native-born Hawaiian, which again boggles my mind how Hawaii voted for Obama, knowing not every single person, but I would say 80% of the voters in Hawaii know for a fact that Obama was lying, and the state still went for Obama. Anyways, we're over an hour. Sorry to get political. This has gotten just really weird. So, Henry Alphonse, I disowned my brother when he told me The Last Jedi was good. Thanks, guys, for being here. Remember, tonight is Friday night auctions. If you want to support this channel, down in the description are various ways to do so, including my Indiegogo, my mystery pack still available for a limited time. Somebody got a cover yesterday. Yeah, so check those out. Subscribe, like, notifications, all that fun stuff. Come on back here later tonight for Friday Night Auctions. I'm on Abacus Mike on Twitter. Hit me up. God bless everybody, and aloha.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.